never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. It is a Wednesday, so of course that means it's time for another weekly Top 10 countdown. And I figured since the NFL draft is next Thursday through Sunday, that today's countdown needed to be about the National Football League in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because so many people love the NFL draft and everything that goes along with it. That's the rumor mill, the combine, and all that kind of good stuff. So today, I'm going to give you the top 10 biggest NFL draft bust of all time. And this article came out 2 weeks ago, so it's pretty new. And it's from the website rotoballer.com. That's R-O-T-O, rotoballer.com. And it was written by Lance Fernandez. Now, this is not necessarily guys that were drafted number one overall, just guys that were drafted extremely high and ended up doing either nothing or close to nothing. So without further ado, here is the top 10 biggest NFL draft bust of all time from rotoballer.com, written by Lance Fernandez. Number 10, Ryan Leaf. And he was drafted, of course, by the San Diego Chargers. Number 9, Jamarcus Russell of the Oakland Raiders. Number 8, Johnny Manziel, who was drafted, of course, by the Cleveland Browns. Number 7, another guy that was drafted by the Cleveland Browns, Trent Richardson. And number 6, Lawrence Phillips from the St. Louis Rams. Again, 10 through 6, Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, Johnny Manziel, Trent Richardson, and Lawrence Phillips. Number 5, going back in the day for this one, he was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, and that was Tony Mandarich. Number 4, Steve Emptman, Indianapolis Colts. Number 3, Brian Bosworth, Seattle Seahawks. Number 2, Kajana Carter, Cincinnati Bengals. And number 1, Charles Rogers, Detroit Lions. Now, a couple of these guys, like Kajana Carter, for example, were really successful in college, whatever team they played for, and they just got extremely overrated because of what they did in college, and it caused people to see something in them that just wasn't there. A lot of players do really good in college, and it causes them to get overvalued, and then they get in the NFL and they just can't cut it. But a lot of these guys, their issues were more off the field, or as they say, between the shoulders, than it was talent. For example, they said back in the day Ryan Leaf was a complete total head case, and he never made it because he just had some bad mental problems. And Jamarcus Russell had all the talent in the world. The problem with Jamarcus Russell was he just didn't like playing football. He was lazy. And you can still, to this day, all these years later, go back and read articles from people that met Jamarcus Russell and know Jamarcus Russell. And they say he's a really nice guy, but he never wanted to practice. All he ever wanted to do was get up on the day of the game, put his pads on, go out there and play, and go back home. He didn't want to go to practice. He didn't want to watch film. So Jamarcus Russell probably could have made it. He was just always so much bigger than everybody else that his whole entire playing career, he didn't have to try because he was just that much bigger. But in the NFL, you have to try, and he just didn't want to. And of course, we all know that Johnny Manziel, all he wanted to do was get drunk every day. So a lot of these guys had talent. They were just complete head cases, and that made them be flops. It's not because they couldn't play. It was just because they had problems off the field. They ended up giving them problems on the field. And Trent Richardson got lazy and quit training, quit going to the gym, and he got about as big as round as a Pillsbury Doughboy. And you can't be a running back when you're 900 pounds. You just can't do it. And then Lawrence Phillips supposedly, either right before or right after he got drafted, if memory serves me correctly, there was a rumor going around that Lawrence Phillips killed somebody. I want to say in high school, but maybe it was early college days, and he got by with it at Nebraska because of how good he was. But then when it come time for the NFL draft, all those rumors started circulating again, and it messed Lawrence Phillips all up. And supposedly that's what happened with him. There was a rumor at one time a few years back that him and former Nebraska head football coach Scott Frost were in cahoots together. And whoever it was that Lawrence Phillips either assaulted or killed, Scott Frost was hiding in the closet and ended up not telling anybody because he was scared Lawrence would come get him. Now, how true that is, I don't know. But supposedly Lawrence was also a head case. So about half of these guys in the top 10 had all the talent in the world and had all the chances in the world to make it successfully in the NFL, but they were complete head cases. And if your head's not screwed on right, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're just not going to make it. Any thoughts on this top 10 countdown? Top 10 biggest NFL draft bust of all time? Please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What do you call a bunny who was raised in a hotel? An ingrown hair. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.